Welcome children to the online class. I am Suchitra Miss. I am going to take your value education class. So children of class 6, take out your book and open chapter 2. Children, take out chapter 2 of your value education book. That is, value education book name is Living in Harmony. Now take out chapter 2. See, this is your value education book and take out page number 14. Page number 14, that is Flowers of Truth. Chapter name is Flowers of Truth. Now let's begin with it. Every friendship is built on trust, and trust comes from honesty. If we find out that a friend tells or lies or cheats, we may not be able to trust that friend again. If we cannot trust the people who are close to us, we cannot feel safe and secure. Sometimes we may feel like telling a lie to escape from a difficult moment, but it makes us feel unhappy later. We should be strong and say no to dishonesty always. And an honest person always speaks the truth. Now come to the very first line of the chapter, that is, long ago there lived a great and powerful king. He loved his people and ruled wisely. The people admired and respected him. The king had no children, and as he grew old, he wanted to choose his heir. The person who sits on the throne should be honest and true, thought the king. One day, as he walked in his beautiful garden, he thought of a perfect plan to find the proper heir. Soon the king's messengers were spreading the news throughout the kingdom. Everyone was invited to the palace because the king had decided on a plan to choose the next ruler. Thousands of people, old and young, rich and poor, crowded into the palace grounds. A simple young girl called Serena was standing and gazing in wonder at the grand palace and the king. So what is the first two paragraphs saying? In the first two paragraphs we get to know that it's a story about a very powerful king. Okay? He's been respected and admired by all. Okay? Everyone used to respect him. Now he is growing old. So he has no child. Okay? He has no children. So now he wanted to choose a heir. Now, so what does the word heir means? Heir means a person who will receive or already has received money or property from another person or from their own ancestor. The king said, "Take these seeds home with you and sow them in a pot. Next year, on this very day, bring your pots to the palace and show me what you have grown." Sarina took the seeds she was given and went home. She sowed them in the best pot she could find. She made sure the soil was rich. She watered the pot every day. 6 weeks later, there was not a single plant to be seen. She changed the pot and the soil and continued to hope, but the seeds did not sprout at all. Maybe I can buy new seeds and sow them, she thought. She felt tempted to do this whenever she looked at her empty pot, but she did not because she knew it would be dishonest. Now, what did Sarina do? She took the pot to the home. Now, after 6 weeks, she is finding that there is no plants growing in that pot. So she decided to buy another one and put some soil in it, and again she hoped for growing the plants. But the seeds did not sprout at all. The seeds had not grown into plants. Now, she thought once that she could buy pots from outside that is full of plants, but that would be a dishonest. Now, at the end of the year, on the day fixed by the king, Sarina sadly took her empty flower pot to the palace. She was surprised when she saw that all other people had brought potted plants with beautiful flowers of every shades and size. Now what happened? The next year, the day came when they have to go to the kingdom, and they have to show the pot that whether they have grown the plants properly or not. Now Sarina's pot was totally empty. Okay, but whenever she was seeing the others pots, other people's pot, she was shocked completely. She was surprised that how is it possible, her pot is totally empty and their pots is like full of beautiful flowers of varieties of shades and size. Everyone laughed at Sarina and her flowerless pot. She felt very sad as she turned to go home. At that moment, she heard the king's voice. "Stop, little girl. What is your name?" Sarina told him her name, wondering whether she was in some kind of trouble. The king smiled at her. He said to the others, "You see, this was a test. I gave roasted seeds to everyone last year. Those seeds could not have sprouted into plants." He smiled at Sarina and announced, "Sarina shall be my successor. Now I know that she is the most honest person in the king. So she is going to rule it." This is the story of how Queen Sarina came to rule the kingdom. So the story ends over here. So at the end, what we learn, what we get to know from this, that you have to remain honest throughout your entire life, whatsoever situation would be, but you have to remain honest. This story has been taken from a folk tale from Norway retold. Okay, there is a moral of the story given. Honesty is the best policy. If I lose mine honor, I lose myself. It has been well said by William Shakespeare. Okay, William Shakespeare is the writer of English literature. Okay. Till this much I am teaching you today. In the next class, I will be doing the hard word meanings. I will be discussing the word meanings as well as I will be discussing the question answers, inside question answers, so that you may able to answer each and every question of this chapter easily. Thank you everyone.